let me know what college you root for in the comment section below.
Coastal Carolina. What's up, Squad? It's your Squid, aka the Anxious Squid, here at Anxious Squid Productions. You saw the title, let's get straight into it.
This past Friday, I was sitting on the couch watching the Northern Iowa versus South Dakota State game, and my roommate looks over at me and asks, "What division of football is this?" I tell him it's Division I FCS, and then he asks, "What's the difference between FBS and FCS?" I had never really thought about the difference between the two subdivisions, but it also got me thinking about the difference between D1, D2, and D3 sports. So let's talk about that.
Let's. As always, if you want to watch the video down there, the one that I'm reacting to and stuff, if you just want to watch that without watching me and stuff, the link's at the bottom of the description.
Rules for schools to be considered Division I, Division II, and Division III. I will not be talking about the NCAA or the NAIA, so if you want videos on those athletic divisions, let me know below and I'll make a video on them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, let me know what college you root for in the comment section below.
Coastal Carolina.
Before we get into the rules
moment,
of the
and last season.
classifications, I thought we should go over some background information on the three different divisions. But then
again, I just pick a game to watch. I don't really have that team. I just follow them on Instagram. I like them.
These divisions are split due to enrollment at these schools. Although Division III schools are much smaller than Division I usually due to enrollment, that is not the reason for the split. According to College Raptor, the University of California, Santa Cruz has an enrollment of 19,457 students, and they compete at the Division III level. While the Air Force Academy has an enrollment of about 4,000 students and competes at the Division I level. According to the NCAA website, three divisions were created in 1973. The reason for the divisional split is to align the like-minded campuses in the areas of philosophy, competition, and opportunity. There are 350 Division I schools, 310 Division II schools, and 438 Division III schools. The median undergraduate enrollment at Division I schools is about 8,960 students, and 1 in 23 students are athletes at the school. At the Division II level, the median enrollment is 2,428 students, with 1 in 10 students being on the athletic teams.
Okay, that's
at the Division III level, the median enrollment is 1,740 students, with 1 in 6 students being athletes. At the Division I level, schools can hand out multi-year cost-to-attend scholarships, with 57% of the athletes receiving athletic aid. At the D2 level, schools can offer partial scholarships, with 60% of athletes receiving athletic aid. While at the Division III level, schools cannot offer athletic scholarships, but 80% of all student athletes receive non-athletic financial aid.
Oh, that's cool.
Some fun facts before we get into the nitty-gritty.
We get to go to school and play football at least, you know.
Graduate at a higher rate than the general student body. Division II is the only division that has participating schools in Alaska, Puerto Rico, and Canada, while Division III's largest school has an enrollment of 25,725 students.
Warhawks, that's an interesting name.
Having an enrollment of 285 students. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the differences between the three divisions of athletics. Justin Berkman from Prep Scholars wrote a great article about this that I will link in the description below. Typically, Division I schools have the most athletic scholarships, largest athletic budget, and biggest student bodies. Although the Ivy League schools are technically Division I schools, they do not offer athletic scholarships. To qualify to compete at the Division I level, the school must offer 6 sports for men and 8 sports for women, and each gender needs to have a sport in the fall, winter, and spring seasons. Other than football and basketball, Division I athletic teams must play 100% of the minimum contests against Division I opponents. Anything above the minimum number of games has to be 50% against other Division I teams. Men's and women's basketball must play all but 2 of their games against D1 opponents, and men's basketball must play 33% of their games at home.
Fairness
There's
otherwise,
also
I guess.
a minimum and maximum amount of financial aid a Division I school can offer. For football, there are 2 subdivisions under the Division I level, the FBS and FCS. The FBS, or Football Bowl Subdivision, the level you typically think about when it comes to Division I football. These are the Alabamas and Ohio States of the world. There's a large amount of money at the FBS level, with coaches making millions of dollars and teams being worth much more. To compete at the FBS level, you must meet a minimum attendance requirement of 15,000 people through a rolling 2-year period. In 2018, the average attendance for an FBS football game was 41,850 people. The theory behind the attendance rule is if you can't average 15,000 fans at a game, you probably are not generating enough revenue to compete at the FBS level. The FCS,
so it's not just about the skill on the field.
Subdivision is the next highest level of football, and they play in an NCAA-run championship. There's no attendance requirement for these games, but to compare FBS to FCS attendance numbers, the FCS averages about 7,853 fans.
It's still not bad for not professional football.
34,003 fans less than the FBS level average. The Ivy Leagues compete at the FCS level along with North Dakota State, James Madison, Northern Iowa, among others.
Okay.
Next, there's the Division II level. At the Division II level, schools' athletic budgets are usually much less than those at the Division I level.
Care more about academia or
Athletes
something?
mainly receive partial athletic scholarships, and schools usually compete regionally against teams rather than nationally like the Division I level. D2 schools must sponsor at least 5 sports for men and 5 for women, or 4 for men and 6 for women, with 2 team sports for each gender, with each playing season represented by the gender. At the D2 level, there's a minimum number of participants.
That's weird. That's interesting. I wonder why that is.
Play. Football, men's and women's basketball must play at least 50% of their games against D2, FBS, or FCS schools. There's no attendance requirement, but there is a maximum financial aid award for each sport.
Okay.
Finally, there is the Division III. Although
this is a bit like information overload,
but
I'm enjoying it.
Many D3 athletes receive need-based or academic financial aid. D3 athletics have less practice hours and travel less for their sports. There's more of an emphasis on participating and competing rather than revenue generation.
That's cool.
The rules are designed to maintain gender equality and that schools offer a minimum number of opportunities to all athletes. Each D3 school must offer at least 5 sports for men and 5 sports for women, with 2 sport teams for each gender, and each playing season represented by each gender. There's no participant or contest minimum at the D3 level. In conclusion, Division I athletics are more focused on revenue generation, with D2 being the middle ground between D1 and D3.
Does anyone make the steps up?
18 sports at D1 schools, 15 at D2 schools, and 18 at D3 schools. One last little fact that FBS football, Division I basketball, Division I women's gymnastics, and Division I women's volleyball can only offer full scholarships.
Right, so no partial ones. Alright, it's all or nothing.
Division II and Division III athletics.
Yeah, still not sure I've wrapped my head around it completely. That was a good video though. I'm sure if I understood a little bit more, I would now understand like a lot more. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you got to know a little bit more to get it at this point. But someone let me know, like, do schools fluctuate between the divisions that often? Or, like, do players, like, for example, if you went to a high school that's in, like, the backwoods of some flyover state or something, and there are no scouts out there that are looking at you or whatever, so you didn't, you're on tape and stuff, but you didn't play any nationally televised games or whatever, no colleges out there sending you scholarships and stuff. Like, if you sent your own tape and got picked up by a Div 3 school and you lit the fucking competition on fire and you were the best that there was in that league or whatever, like, are you likely to transfer to a different school, like, in the Div 1 or Div 2 or whatever, if they'll have you? And would you prefer to be a Div 3, like, quarterback, leading quarterback, or a Div 2 backup quarterback, or a Div 1, like, you know what I mean? Like, somebody help me out in the comments section there, help me wrap my head around it. And, yeah, I've got a few videos planned for today. I think I've already uploaded some as well. We'll see how we go. But, if this is the first time you've stumbled across my channel, poke around, see if you like me. I have a whole bunch of different playlists, a whole bunch of different reactions, some original content as well, and all that sort of stuff. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment if you can, like I said. And, yeah, these people like to give me money on a monthly basis. I like money. I can spend it on shit. You know how money works. You know how YouTube works and Patreon and all that sort of stuff. Links are in the description. I'll see you when I look at you. You will see me when you look at me. Thanks so much for watching.